I never forget a pedigree and I never forget a face, but I'm beginning to forget names. And I had, what, Scoutmaster? Yeah, he ran up in the Massachusetts handicap, and then I had, who? You're as bad as I am. I had Alahampa, he was a nice horse. I had Mohegan Hill. I once
Breaking Free, but he wasn't staked.
Yeah, and Breaking Free, I think I won 5 races with, and and going back over 50 years, I just don't remember the names. I'm sorry.
2 questions. One, I have to ask you, your 2 life professions of horses and high schools and being a principal and a teacher, how do they complement each other? What did you learn from one that helped you in another?
Well, I'll tell you, there's a lot of planning in both. It's just like when I plan his training schedule, I sit down and meticulously go over every single thing, every second. I watch him gallop. I cool him out, I rub him and walk him, and I know just exactly how he feels. And when he's feeling good, he lets you know it. He's very rough when he comes off the track. Julie Shields has galloped him all last summer for me, and she's galloping him now. She's a wonderful exercise person. He knows her, and she knows how to handle him, and she has been a big factor in his success, my exercise girl.
I also wanted to ask, there in that moment, as you're walking back up the tunnel and you stop to acknowledge the crowd, you probably left the track many a time when nobody paid attention. What's that like, and is it kind of an inkling as to what's coming, in May?
I can't tell you what was going through my mind. I don't think there's a word that describes it. I just felt a euphoria. I felt a sense of well-being. I felt hearing those people cheering for this horse and everything. It's hard to describe. It's a feeling I don't think I've ever had before. And I said, thank you, Lord.
John.
Tom, you told me the other day that you've been on the outside looking in at the big races. Now that you have one, what do you think it's going to be like those 2 weeks leading up to the Derby when you're on the back stretch and with the Bafferts and Mullins and those guys?
Well, I think this horse is just as good as any of them. And it'll take, I'll have to train him up to the Derby, and I think he's got the pedigree to go on, and it'll be an experience. It certainly will. I've been looking at other people training good horses, and this time, thank God, I've got a good horse. Yes.
You talked about the former stakes horses that you had trained. Did you ever think you would someday have a horse of this caliber and being headed for the Kentucky Derby?
Well, no, but I was always hoping. I mean, I bred to Proud Clarion, and I've bred to some nice horses, and I always thought, is this the one? Is this the one? And they weren't. But this is the one. Yes. Yes, I think this gentleman.
Yes, Oscar.
Yes, thank you. What are some of the things this horse is lacking as you look for the Derby?
Would you repeat your question? I didn't quite understand it.
Yes. What are some of the things this horse is lacking as you look for making it to the Derby here?
You say lacking?
Lacking?
Lacking.
Oh, lacking. Well, I don't think he's lacking a great deal. I tell you what, all I have to do is stay on the path that I've planned for him. And I do like long, slow gallops, and well, I'll have him there. Believe me, I'll have him there.
Can we maybe flip that question? And what do you like about him as far as thinking mile and a quarter, May 2nd,
Okay,
10th
I'll
race?
tell you what. He's bred to go that route. He is bred to go that route. He's the nicest horse to work with in a stall, thank goodness, at my age. But the minute he comes out of that stall and he walks, it takes all my strength just to hold him down. And it's just like when he comes off of the track, we have to have a pony pick him up and bring him back. Otherwise, he's just a devil. He doesn't want to quit. He wants to continue to go. He's tenacious. He's very, very aggressive. But the funny part of it is you get him in the stall, and he's like a big baby. I can do anything I want with him in there, and that's been part of his success, allowing me to do what I need to do in the stall.
Let's do a couple of more questions. Then I know Nick Nicholson has a celebration planned for Mr. and Mrs. McCarthy. Yes.
Well, I just want to ask about the jockey situation, because Eve Arcoa also rides the Illinois Derby Musket Madness.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big decision for him, isn't it? He said something to me, he'll get back with me a little later, and I'll go over the situation with him. But since he did ride such a good race, and this was a prestigious race, I'm hoping that he will ride general quarterback in the Derby.
Let's do one final question, if you don't mind.
At the background, the story of your colt, I guess I heard mentioned somewhere, somebody talking about maybe the clock striking midnight, and it hasn't yet. I don't know if that's something you've been expecting, but it's just keep going upward, hasn't it? What, you know?
Well, it has, yes. He's done very well, and I hope that clock doesn't strike 12 right away. I hope it'll wait a while, but it's been exciting. It's been very exciting. I've always been on the outside looking in, not quite good enough to go on to different stages. And before this, most I've ever won are allowance races, but first stake, thank goodness. Yeah.